When working with different types of slides that you created, or you aren't still using templates, even if you are, you can still edit the things that you see in the templates so that you can create a different design for the different views. For example, we can transit the text for this view like this, bring up the arrows a bit up, and bring them to another level for this view, which would not affect the main computer view. It would still project the way it was set. Then you can go to the next view, make other changes. For example, you can select different components and bring them up a bit so that they are higher on the slide and don't take so much space. Or you can make the mobile view completely different and longer as much as you need. Now, this one has a lot of empty space. So we're going to double click on the blank space somewhere on the slide and you will see this icon here. When you click on it, you have the editing of the grid mode, which can shorten the scroll or lengthen the scroll for this particular slide. And when we select, as we see, it's 100% width and 175% height. So we can drop down to, let's say, 110. You press enter and now the scroll is much shorter. When you have set the size that you want, close the menu and click on the Done button under the slide. And when you're done, you can save. That way your changes will be stored and you will have that length of the slide. So let's go to a slide that does not have a completed responsive design because it was built outside of a template and it was created in a specific way. So we can edit the elements a bit. And make it a bit more ordered and orderly. You can change the position of the different components and elements, and it would be affected only for this view of the training. And as you can see, now it's shaping up to be much more responsive and orderly. Just a few more little changes and we're done. Now again, you can shorten this slide because it still has a lot of empty space. And again, make it 110% and done. You can center the text, for example, reposition the boxes and do edits as you would like them to be. For example, let's move the buttons somewhere else. Let them act as a menu. Have in mind that sometimes the text should be edited in the main view because not always are they able to be set in the sub-views. So when that happens, go to the main view and from here just select the positioning of the text that you want and it would be affected into the smaller sizes. You can move things around. Again, the selections are still valid, just like in the main slide. They are the same selections that you can use. So if you've made selections into the main slide, then you can easily navigate them into the other views as well. As you can see, the pictures remain responsive and they can be edited in a responsive view and manner. You can move the title here so that it doesn't affect the icon in the corner. And now it has a much better view and much better design in general. Same could happen for the other views, but make sure to save your work often so that you don't lose any changes that you've made. But now let's see the horizontal phone. Again, it has some of the elements that are not set responsively, so we're going to fix that as well. And they should display better when we're done. You can go and make changes to the design in a specific way so that they don't follow the main design always. You can create differences between the different views and still have the same information displayed. Make sure to position the boxes of the fields of the text and other icons on the screen properly so that they don't overlap a lot and that are saving space for you that you can use to assemble your information in a more optimized way. You can move the elements with the arrow buttons on the keyboard as well. And when ready, again, you will be able to save your progress. But again, we need to shorten the slide a bit. Let's make it 110 once again. And it will resize some elements so that they fit on the screen, or you can make slight adjustments so that they are positioned properly and they do not obstruct the scroll of the slide. When ready, save your work once again. And go to the other view that you want to create and edit. You make the adjustments for it as well, and follow those contours that show you when the elements click together and have the same sizes or same borders. This is a good direction so that you know you have positioned the elements properly and they are standing together. Position the layers again so that all the information is displayed properly. And when you're happy with the results, again, go and click Save so that the changes get stored and you have your responsive design looking much better. Now, all the 4 views have their authentic and unique look. As you can see, they have a bit of a variety and difference, but still the information is the same. And make sure to not overlap elements so that they function properly. In case they cover each other, some problems might occur with the selection of the different components and you may want to reposition them properly in order to not obstruct the access to the elements beneath them, and they will keep their functionality. And the last one, which has a bit of a different feel because it's vertical, so have in mind that for the vertical view you may have to make additional changes to the design and feel of the slide so that it remains properly placed. But when ready, click on the Save again to store all the changes and make a review of your different slides and see if they display properly. Where necessary, you can make small changes and edits so that they look the best they can and the users have the best experience possible. Also keep in mind that the automations and the different triggers will be available to the slides. And here is the last one that we can edit so that it looks properly. Let's move this together. Selecting the right elements is very important. When you want to build your responsive design. In case you need to zoom in, you can always do so from here or hold Ctrl and scroll. Now that we are ready to start repositioning, the different components, and placing them according to our needs. You may have to make some adjustments to the design in order for the view to make sense and logic, so you may have to change some of the properties, but at the end of the day, the elements are the same. But in case you don't need an element, you can hide it for this view only from the menu here. And now we can rotate this arrow so that it points to the certificate properly. Make it bigger. Place it right above it. Select the right elements. Hide what's not necessary or doesn't make enough logic for it to work, so that it doesn't obstruct the logic of the design. And now it looks much better, much more orderly, and you can make small adjustments and reposition things a bit so that it has an even better view. When ready, click on the save icon to store your progress.